What's happening, folks? Back with another reaction, back with some more Celtic Woman, and we're returning to the 2004 debut album. I do want to thank those who provided some very insightful information. Now, when it comes to the names of the group members, which I know the membership has evolved over time, the only name I've really ingrained or been able to remember so far is Chloe Agnew, who I believe is one of the founding members, and then she left for a while. I think she came back for a little bit, and then she's since gone on to do solo work again. But yes, my understanding is that the membership has evolved and reconfigured a few times over the years, but they've put out many albums, and my plan is to go through as many of them as I can economically get my hands on. In any case, we're still going through the debut album, although I have done some reactions to their, I think, first Christmas album, and I think they've done multiple Christmas albums. So, in any case, the next track is One World, which, I don't know, I feel like you could take it some different ways, but my first thought when I looked at it was the idea of singularity or inclusion, the idea that we're all here on one world, all the different places, all the different societies, cultures, and so on are part of the same world. Now, of course, it might have a very different meaning than that. It could even be one world among many, but when I looked at the phrase, my first thought was that it was the totality. Everything and everyone on Earth is all part of one world, so we'll see what I can pick up on a first listen. Ultimately, I do wonder whether this is another one that comes from, a classic Celtic origin, meaning, it's a traditional song, or it's not a song that they wrote per se, but I wouldn't be surprised in either case, I suppose. Nevertheless, let's give it a listen. This is Celtic Woman, the track is One World, and it's a tune on their 2004 debut album, self-titled.
Hear a baby crying, a sad sound, a lonely sound. I want to take her in my arms, and then I dry away all her tears. I see a boy who's frightened, a young boy with old eyes. I long to say, you're welcome here. You can be happy now that you're home. We're all a part of one world. We all can share the same dream. And if you just reach out to me, then you will find deep down inside I'm just like you. Loud voices raised in anger speak harsh words, such cruel words. Why do they speak so selfishly when we have got so much we can share? So let your heart be open and reach out with all your love. There
original in every way. And rarely do my thoughts about the title in advance turn out to be, I think, pretty damn close to the mark. We're talking about empathy here. We're talking about pluralism, but also singularity. The idea of seeing other creatures on Earth, especially other humans, and indeed, to borrow a line from Dickens or to adapt it, less as another race of creatures and more as fellow passengers to the grave, people whose situations and feelings, despite having different ethno-cultural, national, or generational origins, are similar. I'm not sure the grammar of that sentence worked, but yes, the idea of saying, hey, for all of our differences, for all of our different backgrounds, we share more in common than that which separates us or drives us apart. So why do we have to speak to each other in harsh and cruel words? Why can't we reach out with open hearts and recognize our fellow humanity among people all over this globe? And I think it's a very sweet and important sentiment, maybe especially right now, but throughout human history and right up into the present. I think it might be dismissed by some as like, cliche or even like saccharine or trite or quaint. The idea of like, oh, well, you just want to hold hands and sing Kumbaya. It's like, it's not really that trivial. It's more profound. And whether you see that through a religious lens or just a more general philosophical lens or just an anthropological lens, the idea of seeing other human beings as human beings who have the same types of experiences, the same types of emotions, and who could use a helping hand, a kind smile, a supportive network around the globe for all of us to share the same dream, even if we're always, experiencing that dream in different times and places and in different specific configurations. I think it's very profound and very beautiful and very essential if humans are to continue living on this planet and not destroy each other in the process. So, yes, I think it's a very sweet and wonderful tune. I like the voices, I like the strings, and I suppose I'm going to say I like the voices in almost every track by them because they really just do have an elegant manner of delivery and, of course, with a Celtic music flavor, which, of course, I'm still very, what's the right word? Inexperienced in a larger sense. I've heard some Irish music even before listening to Celtic Woman. I've heard some Irish singing, from some different people outside of their particular group of singers, and yet at the same time I'm learning more just in the last several months through this deep dive in people's comments. Again, big shout out to those of you who've been part of this so far, than I had known before. So again, I don't know whether this is a song that, goes back to earlier generations or is a traditional tune, where it's so far like part of a culture that there's not even like an official like author. It's one that was derived from folk songs of earlier generations and then maybe was first written down by someone. But yes, either way, I don't know whether this is a song like that or maybe an original song by them, but I think it's very beautiful and, as I said, in modern times maybe essential, or especially essential. So in any case, big shout out to Celtic Woman. Let me know what you think and I will see you next time. Peace.